Good afternoon, everyone. This is Valerie calling from New York Wired for Education Metrics Learning. Welcome to the QuickBooks Certification Program Orientation webinar. So again, thank you all for being here this afternoon. What we'll be doing today is briefly going over the QuickBooks Certification Program itself, what the program entails, expectations. I'll give you a brief demonstration of how to access training in the system. And then from there, we will address any questions that you have at the very end. So this program is being recorded. So at this time, your mics are muted. However, as I mentioned at the end of the presentation, we will have time for open Q&A. So let's go ahead and get started. A couple of things we'll be talking about today about us. As I mentioned, I have Liz here with me on the line, as well as Collie, who will be our QuickBooks mentor. I'll speak about the program, including program goals, the training, resources, and calendar. You've already received some documents. We'll go over what you've received and what you will receive. How to contact us at Metrics Learning Support should you have any questions or technical trouble. A brief demonstration of the Metrics Learning System, and then we'll go into Q&A. So, about us. We are New York Wired for Education. That's our company. Our online learning system, which many of you have access to, is Metrics Learning. So, what you'll be doing through this program is actually accessing training through Metrics Learning. As I mentioned, my name is Valerie. I have Liz here with me on the line and Nikki. We are all New York Wired for Education staff members who are working to manage this program. Also, we have with me here on the line today, Collie. She will be our program mentor. So we are here to guide you through the training process and answer any questions that you have. And Collie, we have you on the line here. Can you hear me?
I can. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you. I'm just so excited about this program as it's coming along, and I enjoy doing this and being a mentor for the QuickBooks program. As Valerie mentioned, my name is Collie, and I took the training and gained credentials through the program, so I have experience with the tutorials. I also have 20 years of experience with QuickBooks, QuickBooks Pro, QuickBooks Enterprise, and QuickBooks Online with extensive use. So I will be here to guide you through the training process and answer any questions that you may have. I look forward to working with you guys.
Great. Thank you so much for that.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone, this is Collie, and she'll be working closely with us throughout this program. So moving forward into the program itself, a bit of background. You are in the Mentored QuickBooks Certification Program for QuickBooks 2014. This is a structured 60-day program, so today is day one. Throughout this program, you'll be doing about 15 to 20 hours of self-paced training through the Metrics Learning System. In addition, self-paced training, what I mean by that is you can access this training 24/7 from any computer with internet. So we'll get into the program calendar a little bit later too. We have kind of structured days to complete things by, but say that you're busy one day, you don't have time to access training, but the next day you have all the time that you need. So what you could do is, so long as you stay to the program schedule, which again we'll get into, you're set to go. So again, 24/7 from any computer with internet. In addition to the training through Metrics Learning itself, we will be hosting weekly webinar sessions. They will always be Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern or 3 p.m. Pacific. We have people from both coasts actually on the line here today. In addition to a Q&A session with our mentor, Collie. So that will be happening weekly. 24/7 again, any computer with internet, and everything is virtual. So we have four main goals of this program. They are the following: to help you learn the features and capabilities of QuickBooks 2014, help you learn common problems as well as their fixes in each area of QuickBooks, help you to apply skills learned through hands-on QuickBooks experience, and finally, to help you gain an Intuit QuickBooks Certified User credential. So a bit of information about certifications. They are very important for job seekers to have, and employers really value them too. So at the end of this program, we're helping you take this training and get the credential, because you will have a credential, an industry-recognized credential from Intuit themselves. So it really does hold a lot of weight. And I'll get more into the training in a minute here, but we think that this training is very good. It will help you get you guided to your end goal. So a little bit about the training through this program. The bulk of the training is called Mastering QuickBooks Level 1. So this is separated into 2 different courses. This is about 12 to 15 hours worth of training. Mastering QuickBooks Level 1 is provided by Real World Training. Real World Training is the only Intuit-approved online training provider. The courses, there's 2 of them. It's separated into, quote, day 1 and day 2 of training. Of course, we're not asking you to complete all the training in, 2 days. You'll see the calendar a little bit later here. But throughout this program, we do refer to day 1 and day 2, so you'll know what we're talking about. And those are 2 current courses in your My Plan right now. Second, part of this program is you will be receiving a QuickBooks Accountant 2014 trial version. This is a 140-day trial for hands-on simulation and use of QuickBooks itself. So each week, Kyle will be giving some homework, optional, but you can go through and do some hands-on practice within the QuickBooks interface itself. So the exam itself, this is important that you get the hands-on practice, because the QuickBooks certification exam is mostly multiple choice, but it does have 5 simulation questions within QuickBooks. So throughout this program, you'll also get some practice with multiple choice, but the simulation really is important. That's why we give you that 140-day trial. So in addition, you will be receiving a Certiport exam voucher. Certiport is the testing company that provides the certification exam. The different locations that you all signed up for are Certiport authorized testing centers. You'll actually take the certification exam on site at the different centers. So in addition to this voucher, which comes with a retake, this comes also with 3 practice tests. They are one-time use practice tests from Certiport, which is very closely simulate the exam itself. So this is helpful. It's kind of like having 3 shots at the real thing before you go into the exam, so you'll know what to expect. Then an optional practice we have is through QuizStar. So we have multiple choice practice tests, and what those are, it's about 100 questions to help make you familiar with the multiple choice aspect of the exam. So I'm certified in QuickBooks 2012, as is Liz here, and Nikki too, and we had found, the more multiple choice practice we had, the more familiar and comfortable we felt with the exam. So you'll get access to those as well. Then, lastly, you'll receive a metrics learning license. Depending upon the location, it's either 90 or 180 days. A lot of you do have metrics learning licenses right now. So if you do have a metrics learning license, we recommend that you stick to this program training for the calendar. However, you are welcome to take any of the 5,000 plus courses through Skillsoft after this program ends. So you'll have access to that as well. All right, so a couple of brief screenshots of some of the training resources here. So the top part is the metrics learning system. I'll get into that in a moment. For many of you, this already looks familiar. Below, right here in the bottom left, is a screenshot of the course. So as I mentioned, all of you have the Mastering QuickBooks Level 1 Day 1 and Day 2 courses already in your My Plan. So you'll become very familiar with this. In addition, with the QuickBooks Accountant trial, this is what it will look like. Tomorrow we'll be sending you information about how you can download this trial version on your computer. Each of you will have your own unique code to then be able to take this. And we are recommending that you kind of get hands-on experience and supplement what you're learning in the video tutorials with the hands-on experience. In addition, Kali will have some weekly items that you can go through and simulate and actually use the program itself. So this is the program schedule. So you all have received this. If you have not yet gotten this, please let me know. I can make sure to send this over to you. But today is day one of the program, Monday, May 18th. So we have a structured training calendar, as you can see here. We're having you complete either a chapter each day, or on Fridays we have the optional Q&A webinar. Those will be at 1 p.m. Eastern or 10 a.m. Pacific, and at that time, Collie will be on the line to review some things you learned, answer any questions that you have. And then we also have our mentor webinars, which will be each Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern or 3 p.m. Pacific, as it was today. So on here, you can see we have a deadline to opt out of the program. So if you feel this program is not for you, we're not offended. It's, definitely good to know what you're looking for as far as the training, but of course we hope that you all stay on with us. However, if you don't feel that this is a good program or a good fit for what you're looking for, please let us know as soon as possible, the deadline being the 1st of June. So moving forward into resources. So there are some that you have already received. This includes your Metrics Learning login. So the majority of you already had them. So you'll be using your current Metrics Learning login. If you don't remember what that is, please let us know. We're happy to send that over to you. You also received your program calendar, so a document version of what I just shown you. And then the QuickBooks 2014 exam objectives document. So this is really helpful because this is from Certiport and it outlines what's on the certification exam itself. So while you're taking training, kind of keeping in mind, oh, this is what I'm learning, and oh, I see this on the exam objectives outline. So it's definitely a great resource to use. And then you'll be receiving or downloading a bunch of different resources as well. So with these webinars, the GoToWebinar program that we're all currently using, it's pretty neat because with the different webinars, be it the mentor ones on Mondays or the Q&A ones on Fridays, all you'll have to do is register for the webinars, the two of them, once, and you'll be getting emails as reminders. So we'll make sure to send you all links to the registration. And then in addition, the Mastering QuickBooks Level 1 course, I mentioned, is split up into Day 1 and Day 2. Each Day 1 and Day 2 has a manual that goes along with the course. So the manual, it consists of screenshots and step-by-step. It goes along with the training. And you're able to download these from the Mastering QuickBooks course itself. The manuals, just as a heads up, are about 100 pages in length each. So we recommend, well, I personally recommend, saving these to your computer rather than printing, A, to save paper, but also in taking the QuickBooks training for 2012, so a little less current, I had downloaded the Mastering QuickBooks Level 1 manuals and put them on my computer, and if I needed to search a topic, for instance, reports, I could do, Control Find or Control F, reports, and then be able to search it that way, so it was much easier than flipping through. As I mentioned, you'll also be receiving download instructions for QuickBooks Accountant 2014. You'll also be receiving a QuizStar login, which are those practice tests, the multiple choice practice. You can take those up to 10 times each. And then you'll be receiving an exam voucher, which comes with those 3 practice tests, as well as a retake. So, some contact information. Should you have any questions, technical issues, Metrics Learning support, that's us here, Liz, myself, our coworkers. We are available Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern or 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific. Our preferred method of contact and the way that we will, the majority of the time, be getting in contact with you all is through email. So that is right here. It's our support@metricslearning.com. It's also one of the quickest ways, the quickest way to get to us because we're consistently, staff member-wise, checking our emails throughout the day. So all of us take care of this. And then if you have any questions regarding the training itself and, the certification, this is Collie's email address right here. So that's the metricsmentor@gmail.com. So if you have questions, feel free to send them to her. Again, technical support, program support, that's us here at Metrics. But if it's related to the training and certification, Collie, as your mentor, can be reached here. We're also available via support ticket under Help Support in Metrics. It's step number 3. What the support ticket does, it gives you a space to describe your problem, technical trouble, I can't get the course to launch. What we can do is take a look at your description as well as your computer settings. So everything's kind of right there for us for support. So we'll get back to you via support ticket. And then our third option, again, here is phone. So our phone number is listed at the bottom. And all of this support information is also in your program calendar and resources document too. So now what I'm going to do is go into a brief demo of the metrics learning system. Again, a lot of you are already familiar with the system itself, but what I want to do today is just show you how to get into training. So I'm going to go ahead and log into my demo account here. So here's my Getting Started page. All of the training for the program is in your My Plan. But the first thing I want to do is I want to guide you to our browser check right here under Help Browser Check. So there are a couple of computer settings that you'll need in order for metrics to fully function. So I would definitely take note of this if you have not yet launched any courses. The first thing is you need to make sure that you're using either Internet Explorer or Google Chrome if you're on a PC. And this program itself is not compatible with Macs. So that was a disclaimer at the beginning as well. If you are using a Mac, please let us know. However, both Internet Explorer and Chrome are compatible with the system. And then the second thing, you need to make sure that pop-ups are allowed. You must turn off your pop-up blockers because that's the way that courses launch in the system. So if your pop-up blocker is, if you're not allowing pop-ups to come up, if you launch a course, you won't be able to see it, unfortunately. But you should be set if you're using Metrics Learning currently. And then the third and fourth thing is you'll need to have the most recent versions of Java and Flash on your computer. If you get a course and it, can't get it to launch or you have questions about your computer settings, you can always contact us here as well. We can take a look into any issues that you may have. But you can see here that my browser check is good to go. If it wasn't, it would say so. It would also give me some information about what I needed to do. So let's go back home. This is our Getting Started page. Really, as far as this program goes, the only thing that you'll really need to be working with is My Plan up here in the top. So as I mentioned, for each of you here on the line today, your My Plan is automatically loaded with the courses that you'll be taking. You can see here the Mastering QuickBooks Level 1 Day 1 and Mastering QuickBooks Level 1 Day 2. So let's go ahead and launch a course so you see how that works. What you'll do is you'll click the up arrow button under Action. So what happens, as you can see, is the course pops up into a separate window. Give it a second to load here. You'll see in the background it says your course has been launched in a new window. You launched your course in a new window, but if you can't see it, a pop-up blocker may be preventing it from opening. Please disable pop-up blockers. So this is the course itself. The first thing you'll get into is the welcome. And for the different slides, you can see that for day 1, for instance, it's separated into the different chapters, which you can refer to in your training calendar. So, you can go ahead and minimize or maximize these. It has the total amount of time. However, something I always mention to people is it might take you longer than this time listed here to go through the training. The reason being that if you're a note taker, which I am a huge note taker, and I definitely am a strong proponent for taking notes, it might take you a little longer. But what you're able to do, as I did here, is pause the course, play, pause, and go through it this way. So in referring to the calendar, when it says Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, that's you know what we're talking about here. So the videos can take, I'd say probably up to 10 seconds between each slide to load. So if you see that it's buffering, kind of let it do that, or you can pause it while it buffers, just because it is, a very video-based course. And that's another point I always bring up with people is the Mastering QuickBooks Level 1, Day 1, and Day 2 courses, strictly video tutorial content. There are no quizzes and tests, because this is teaching you the program. You'll get more into hands-on simulation through using the trial version of QuickBooks, and you'll get more into multiple choice and the reinforcement of what you've learned, both through the quiz star practice as well as the practice that you'll receive through your voucher. So a very common question we get is, where's the quiz, where's the test? The answer is that there are no quizzes and tests in this course itself, but you will get, hands-on reinforcement and so on. So clicking on the part where it says download QB manuals, what you can do is you can download the day 1 and day 2 manual by clicking here. Actually have the day 1 manual up so you can see what this looks like. And you can go ahead and download this, save this to your computer. Again, we definitely recommend saving. And each of these, you can see 116 pages for day 1. So, and day 2, about the same. So you can download the Master in QuickBooks manuals both from the day 1 and level 1 day 1 and level 1 day 2 courses, quote unquote. All right, let's bring you back to your My Plan here. So the My Plan is separated into My Plan and My Report. So your My Report is a log of your progress in the system here. So in taking the course, what you want to make sure of is that there are check marks next to each of the sections here. Once you've checked everything off, what it should do is it will record your place in the course. In recording your place in the course, say you need to stop, what we recommend doing is click the X button within the course player itself. It's right here next to the audio button, because this will save your spot in the course. Sometimes if you click the red X, both in normal metrics learning courses and this as well, your place won't be saved, and that can obviously be very frustrating. So always remember to click the exit button within the course itself. All right, so back to the My Report page. What you'll want for this to say under status is complete for both of these. And then from there, what will happen is we'll progress in the program. You'll get access to the quiz star, and then once everything is complete, you also get access to the voucher and then the 3 practice tests. So from there, you can prepare for the exam. So we're going to bring us back to the home page, and then now we're going to bring us back to our PowerPoint. So at this point, what I will do is I will unmute everyone here on the line today. Just give me a brief moment. I have to click all of you individually. If you have any questions, you can either feel free to speak up, or I mentioned the chat pane earlier. At the very bottom of the GoToWebinar interface, if you click the plus sign next to the word chat, what you can do is ask any questions that way. So Liz and myself are here on the line in Metrics Learning to address any questions. So, all right, everyone is, we can hear you all. So feel free to go ahead and ask.
You said that the this program is not compatible with Mac?
Correct. It's only compatible with PCs.
Okay.
The reason being that it's not metrics itself, but rather the practice test through Certiport and the trial version of the 140-day trial of QuickBooks Accountant are not Mac compatible.
Oh, so then I guess I won't be able to go forward. I have access to Mac, not a PC.
If I can interject, I took the course through my Mac. You can listen to the tutorials,
okay.
And I took the test off-site on their computers. But with that, you can obtain, but you won't have access to the hands-on on QuickBooks. That is done with, that's done in Windows. I am using a Mac, and this is Kali, by the way. I'm using a Mac, and I'm also using Parallels to reach the QuickBooks 2014 account. For the hands-on. I do have my own version. I have a Mac version, but this one, because it'll be what you guys are using, I have a sample myself. So with that, that is some IT workarounds with using a Mac.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, so unfortunately with kind of going off what Holly said, it's not the training itself, it's, kind of the extra features. If you do have Parallels as a program, that is possible, but it's not a free program. So if you can get access to a PC, that's great, but if not, was this Felicia speaking?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Thank you. So I'm making a note of this, and we'll reach out to you as well as the metrics administrator at your site.
Okay. So would I guess I wouldn't be able to, if I just wanted to do the tutorial part, I could, whatever I could access through my Mac, I can't do that.
So we'll have to speak with the administrator at the site that provided the metrics learning access.
Okay. All right.
So we'll be getting back in touch with you.
Okay, via email?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, great. I mean, if there's any way that I could, continue with the course, that would be great. But
yeah, we'll be discussing it with the metrics admins there for sure. So we'll definitely be back in touch.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, this is Michelle. I have a question.
Valerie,
Sure, go ahead.
How far ahead can we go in the program, or should we stick to the week to week?
Oh my goodness, you sound very ambitious, which we like. So, I mean, if you really are cruising along, feel free to do that. However, just note that the webinars will be targeted to the different chapters that are being covered that week.
Okay.
Really with the main, let me bring up the calendar. So really, as I mentioned, it's very self-paced. So if you're really cruising along, feel free to go ahead. We just ask that you have, everything completed by the specific dates that are here, and especially everything completed by our final mentor webinar, which is July 6th, because from there we go into test prep and getting ready to test. So that's a great question.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have another question about the QuickBooks or this level. Then, do you have to have any accounting background at all, or is it better to have that? I'm just looking, wondering if this is really something that it might be over my head or not.
So regarding that, really, the Mastering QuickBooks course itself, it really starts with the basics and works its way up.
Okay.
So I mentioned I'm certified in QuickBooks 2012, so the training was through the same company as well as, Certiport, different exam though. And I didn't know very much about accounting. I had some basic, very basic experience with QuickBooks itself, but I was able to learn everything, learn more about accounting than I ever imagined, and actually pass the exam. So, yeah, so I think that you would be, set for that.
Okay. All right.
Hello?
Hi, do we have another question?
To the seminar late. I was having issues with computers. Be a problem.
Sorry, can you go ahead? Sorry, repeat yourself?
I was having issues getting signed into the seminar, so I came in late. Is this going to be an issue?
No, actually, so we have recorded a version of this webinar, so afterwards you're welcome to access the recording and kind of brush up on the beginning if there was anything that you missed.
Okay, great.
I've had that thing on since 2007. Just I'm not going to stand out and like someone.
Valerie, this is Alva.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Oh, you know what? I just wanted to make sure you could hear me.
Yes, you're good.
My headphones. Oh, perfect. Excellent. That's all. And thank you for the answer to my question.
Oh, you're welcome. So we have a question here, too, regarding the difference between the Monday and the Friday webinars. So the Monday webinars, it's going to be much like this. So the Monday webinars will be reviewing what you've gone over during the week. There will be some simulation of the QuickBooks tool itself. And that will be both with myself and Collie here on the line. The Friday webinars, those are strictly Q&A. So whereas right now we're kind of, all speaking on the line like this, the Friday webinars are typing Q&A through that chat feature that some of you have been using today. So, they're both very helpful to go to, and I think that what Collie mentioned she'll do too is if there's a lot of questions on a certain section during the Q&A on Friday, we're lucky because we have her on Mondays too, so we can always go over that as a group.
Do you have to sign in every Friday?
What if you're not I wouldn't be able to participate in Friday's webinar. Is that an issue?
So the Friday webinars are optional, but highly recommended. And we put them kind of up front all at the same time so you all can hopefully plan around. The Monday webinars, we truly ask that you try your best to be at every single one of those. Because, again, it will be a good review. We'll all be on the line here together.
Okay.
And we'll be recording. Another thing, too, is the Monday webinars, much like this one today, will be recorded. The Friday webinars cannot be, unfortunately, because you can't record clicking and live chat. But if you do have questions and you're not able to make the Q&A, there also is that metricsmentor@gmail.com address that you can access.
Okay. Because right now, at the 6 o'clock time groups, but I'm not. That may change further down the road. So I was wondering if it's going to be an issue. Just thinking ahead.
Yeah, and another point too is in structuring this program, we understand that QuickBooks, the certification program is not the only thing you're doing right now. Everyone has a lot going on and things like that. So if you aren't able to make, a session, please just let us know ahead of time. We'll be sure to make a note. And what's good is we have, Collie is a fantastic resource who's gone through all the same training as you all, which is definitely, great to have. So if for some reason life happens, you can't make it to a webinar, please let us know. But again, try and be there if you possibly can.
Okay.
All right, we've had some great questions so far. All right, so we have a question regarding the Friday webinars. Friday webinars beginning June 5th. The answer to that question is yes. That's just because with the Memorial Day weekend and things like that, it kind of butts right up. But again, it will be June 5th, those will start. But if you do have questions before then, of course, feel free to email the Metrics Mentor with program-related questions and anything technical. Send them over to us at Metrics Learning Support.
This is Sue, and I have a question in regards to the practical aspect of the course. I just wanted to make sure that my understanding was correct, that we're going to receive assignments to do in QuickBooks. Is that right?
Yes, the answer to that is yes. And it's not required. It's not a program requirement. However, it is recommended because, again, the exam features 5 simulation questions out of 50. So we want to make sure that you have the hands-on experience. So what Collie will be doing is sending, a couple practice questions. And what's nice with the QuickBooks Accountant software is it comes with a couple of built-in companies. So it's already kind of all there, and you're able to go off of those scenarios. So yeah, there'll be a mix of the video, the practical, and multiple choice questions.
Okay, so that's something we'll be able to play around in then with what we've learned.
Correct, yes. And we'll be sending access to the QuickBooks account, and we'll be sending you all your own unique quote-unquote key tomorrow. So look out for that email and many more from us.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Is there a certain time each day that we have to do this, or is this flexible?
So it's really flexible. The thing that you do need to be here for as far as specific times of day would just be the 6 p.m. mentor webinars and then the optional Q&A on Fridays. But as far as the training itself, Metrics is 24/7. So say you're an early morning person and you just think best in the morning after you've had a cup of coffee, feel free and go in then. Say you want to wait till the kids are gone or everyone's asleep so it's quiet, you can do that later at night too. So what's really nice is it's self-paced but also very accessible, so no specific time.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Felicia again. Each of the classes, how long are they approximately then, for each day, just to get an idea?
So for each day, again, it's going to vary when, if someone's a big note taker, if you kind of go through the course quickly, we estimate about an hour per day. So more or less is, an hour, 45 minutes to an hour of video. And then you can expect the same from the webinars as well, about 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
All right, so do we have any further questions at this point?
No.
And again, you
Nope, I think that's good.
decide that it's just not for you, then you can just, how would you cancel the registration? Just go to the email, the initial email that we received?
So if you don't feel this is for you, please let us know as soon as very possible. Feel free to send us an email or a support ticket, and from there we'll be able to cancel your registration as well as notify the organization through which you enrolled.
Okay.
All right. Anything else from anyone else?
No.
Nope, I'm all set.
Thank you.
All right, perfect. Well, again, thank you all for being here this evening. You had great questions. So if you do think of anything after we get off the line today, feel free to email us, send a support ticket, and so on. We're happy to help. That's what we're here for. So, again, thank you all so much for being here. We're looking forward to working with you through this program.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very
Have a
much.
good rest of your night,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.